Now at 5:30, firefighters are investigating what caused an early morning fire in Lexington. We'll have the latest just ahead.
A live report from there coming up on WKYT. Also, the Lexington Humane Society is asking for help after storms ruined the major fundraiser. What you can do coming up.
Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis facing a rather unusual lawsuit. We'll tell you what it is on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. Wednesday, July 6th, and we're glad you're on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. We've already gone through 4th of July. What's next? That would be Labor Day.
Well, really, for as far as a holiday.
Yeah.
Back to school, of course, before that. Ooh, I already said that, didn't I?
You did. You went there.
Yeah, some folks starting to kind of give that some thought. But right now, we have that humidity to deal with and the good old summertime. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, and you can feel it outside, that is for sure. Dew points way high. They're right now in the 70s. That's typically that feel that you get down toward the beach, just how muggy it is. It's the way it is outside. A couple of sprinkles down toward the south and the east. And that's about it outside at this moment. We look to go through a slight chance of rain throughout much of your day. Much of your day is going to be mainly dry, but we just can't rule out getting those thunderstorms in here later on during the afternoon off into the evening hours. That's when we get the first batch. Another batch is possible overnight and into tomorrow morning. So it's going to be rounds of thunderstorms once again. We're right there in that pattern. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to take you hour by hour, too, to help you plan out some of your plans coming up on Friday and into your weekend that's coming up.
Micah, thank you. WKYT News now following a developing story in Lexington. Crews remain at the scene of a fire that has forced some people out of their homes.
The fire started around 4 o'clock this morning on Maryland Avenue off of West 2nd Street near Newtown Pike. The owner of the home where the fire started says he doesn't think it was an accident. Mark Barber is live with more for us. Good morning to you, Mark.
Good morning, Rebecca. And firefighters are still putting water on that garage that is just behind this home here on Maryland Avenue. The homeowner tells me he thinks that someone set his garage on fire to get revenge. Now, this homeowner says that he let 2 homeless people stay in that garage, and about a month or 2 ago, his daughter kicked them out because he says they were not paying back money that they'd loaned them. He says no one else has been in the garage since that fight, so he thinks they came back and set it on fire this morning. Nearby houses were evacuated because neighbors were worried that the flames would spread. It was a terrifying morning for children who waited outside their homes, worried they would lose everything. One neighbor heard someone take off through their yard right before the fire started.
Oh, woman over on the porch, she don't want to be interviewed though. She said that she actually saw someone run through, or she didn't see them, but someone ran through her backyard and hopped the fence over onto 3rd Street because her dogs went off after him.
Claims that this is a case of arson. They say so far it is still too soon to determine how this fire started. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Today, the last of 3 public hearings will be held to discuss Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin's plan to overhaul the Kentucky Medicaid program. Today's hearing is in Hazard. The first 2 were held in Bowling Green and Frankfort. The governor told Medicaid recipients they will have to pay monthly premiums and hold down a job or do volunteer work to get benefits. His goal is to move people into the private insurance market. He says in its current state, the program is too expensive. The federal government must approve Bevin's request for a waiver. Bevin says if it's denied, he will eliminate the state's expanded Medicaid program. If you want to weigh in, today's meeting is at 11 this morning at Hazard Community and Technical College, room 208. New this morning, the governor says he wants to eliminate or revise some of the state's 4,500 regulations governing private businesses. He announced his red tape reduction initiative just after midnight. The review is modeled after a similar one done in Canada. A study by George Mason University says that reform resulted in 37% of regulations being eliminated. The governor's office says since 1974, at least 15% of Kentucky's business regulations have never been reviewed. Bevin also set up a website to solicit recommendations from businesses and the general public. You can find a link to that site on our website, WKYT.com, on our news app.
Well, today people will gather to remember a well-known Lexington minister. A week ago, the Reverend Wayne Smith died. Smith was the founder of Southland Christian Church. During his time there, he grew the church from 152 members to more than 3,700. Smith's funeral is at 1 o'clock this afternoon at Southland Christian Church. The visitation will begin this morning at 10 and last until the funeral hour. It is at Southland Christian Church, the Harrodsburg Road campus. Using their talents to help a friend, some local musicians played at a benefit for a man who was shot and robbed. Police say Coleman Saunders was badly injured last month when 3 men robbed him. Sunday best singer Christopher Bentley says the best way that he knew to help was by bringing people together. So last night a fundraiser was held at Willie's Locally Known. People were asked to make donations of $15, and 100% of the proceeds are going to Saunders. Though Saunders could not come to the fundraiser, Bentley read a few things that Saunders wanted to say to his friends and the strangers who came to support him.
The jogger who found me dying is why I took a breath this morning. The love of God, family, and friends is why I still have my life. I thank every one of you for that.
It will be a few more months before Saunders is fully recovered. At last check, Lexington police have not made any arrests in the shooting.
In Jesus' name!
Protesters took to the streets of Baton Rouge Tuesday night after reports a Louisiana police officer shot and killed a man outside a local convenience store. Police say 37-year-old Alton Sterling scuffled with the 2 responding officers. An autopsy shows Sterling died of multiple gunshot wounds to the chest and back.
My brother didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it at all.
His family is now asking for answers. Sterling's sister says her brother has been selling CDs outside the store for years.
Just an open fire, that's not the answer. That was a life that you took away. That was a family member.
A video that claims to be of the incident has been posted online. One of the officers is heard yelling that Sterling has a gun just before gunshots are heard. When paramedics arrived, Sterling was dead on the scene.
Hands up, don't shoot!
Protesters gathered at the scene early Tuesday afternoon, and the size of the crowd grew throughout the night.
The worries are that we're not going to get the information that we need to cool this situation down, and this may definitely be the next Ferguson right here in Baton Rouge. That's the worries.
Both officers have been placed on administrative leave pending further investigation. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Well, Baton Rouge police are expected to hold a news conference later this morning, and a Louisiana state politician tells CBS affiliate WAFB that police have surveillance video from the store and dash cam video from a police car. Those videos have not been released. In California, police say a man tried to kidnap a little girl while her mom was shopping in a store. It was all caught on camera. Disturbing. The store's owner says the woman told him she had noticed a strange man in the parking lot. That man followed her and quickly grabbed the girl by the arm. The mom and another customer ran out. The girl managed to break free, clinging to her mother's leg. Witnesses say the man then sat in traffic. That's when people nearby tackled the man and held him until police came and arrested him.
Back in Kentucky, Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis has been sued by a man who claims that she denied him a license to marry his laptop computer. This lawsuit was filed by Mark Sevier, who also filed lawsuits against Governor Bevin and Attorney General Andy Beshear. Davis's lawyers at the Liberty Council claim Sevier is trying to prove that a marriage between a same-sex couple has the same legitimacy as a human marrying an inanimate object. The Liberty Council calls his lawsuit frivolous and says he has filed similar lawsuits in Texas and Florida. Last year, Davis received national attention when she refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. People in Scott County got the chance to meet the new superintendent of the Scott County school system. The Scott School Board welcomed Dr. Kevin Hubb with an ice cream social during its meeting last night. Hubb says student growth is among his top priorities. He says the people of Scott County deserve a decision on whether a second high school will be built. Hubb says he has found many positive things about the school district.
I'm just excited to be here. I think it's got an outstanding reputation to deliver world-class education for our students, outstanding teachers, supportive and caring leadership, and a support staff that really adds to the student engagement and the instructional value in our classes.
Before coming to Scott County, Hubb was the superintendent of Logan County Schools in western Kentucky.
The Ark Encounter Park in Grant County officially opens tomorrow, but yesterday 7,000 people received a sneak peek. The group behind the park, Answers in Genesis, says the people were supporters of the project. One man who lives out of state told us he liked what he saw and plans to visit often.
We're going to even buy a vacation home out here because we plan on coming here every year and trying to invite other people from Wisconsin and all our friends all across the state.
Answers in Genesis projects that 2 million people will visit Ark Encounter in its first year. Ticket prices are $40 for adults and $28 for children.
And the official public opening is Thursday, tomorrow. Time to check live drive traffic this morning, see what's going on. Your time right now is 5:40 here on WKYT.
Hope you're off to a great start this morning, getting caffeinated and raring to go. Right.
See what's happening.
Let's take a look at our Lexington Fayette Urban County Government live drive cam at Nicholasville and Alumni.
Zipping along there with no problems, and we have no reports of any problems or delays early this morning. More news coming up for you on WKYT on your Wednesday.
Thanks to the generosity of an Oregon community, a young disabled boy has a very specialized bike to ride and his own. Hear the heartwarming story when WKYT This Morning returns.
And we're looking pretty good this morning, but storms will continue to increase as we head throughout the next 2 to 3 days. I'm going to talk about that and that severe weather concern. That's coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a couple of sprinkles south and southeastern Kentucky, but other than that, it is a nice start to the day in terms of rain. However, in terms of the way it feels, not so much. You're walking outside and you're dealing with temperatures in the 70s. Listen, that's not that bad. It's still pretty warm for this time of year during the morning hours. But when you throw in that humidity is nasty outside. Dew points, the measure of moisture in the air, right there around that 74-degree reading here in Lexington. So you have temperatures at 74, dew points right around 72. That's not a good feeling. I mean, you're talking about big-time humidity outside early this morning. So if you're one of those walkers or runners early in the morning, you want to knock that out before you go off to work, before the kids get up, it's going to be pretty nasty. Prepare to sweat. I promise you that by the afternoon, everybody will be sweating if you're outdoors. A lot of water will be needed today if you're heading out to the pool, Lake River. Know this, that there's only a slight chance of rain now through, I would say, mid-afternoon. 4, 5, 6 p.m., that's when you start to see the bulk of the rain move on in. And that is when you get that first round. The second round actually comes during the evening and nighttime hours. So some of us may go to bed, have a few rumbles of thunder overnight, may keep us up a little bit. The rounds of storms move back in the forecast, and that's going to be today and through tomorrow and Friday too. So it's not moving anytime soon. Let's go hour by hour, and let me show you what I'm talking about here in the forecast. So here is noontime. Let's get into the afternoon, 4, 5, 6 p.m. Boom, you start to see a few rumbles of thunder. But watch this as we go off into the evening. Still some rumbles of thunder. So anywhere from about 4 p.m. to about 8 p.m., there's your first batch of rain. Your second batch, look overnight and into tomorrow morning. It doesn't look good. So it looks like we're going to have thunderstorms overnight and into tomorrow. It will be loud. Some of these will be strong, so expect a lot of heavy rain and expect a lot of lightning out of these. And towards your Thursday, here's 7 p.m. Thursday, we get another round of thunderstorms rolling on through. But look what happens. You get bits and pieces of thunderstorms rolling through, and then you get big, dry, long breaks. So it's really one of those times that you're just going to have to time it out to try to get out, knock out some of these events. Here's 10 a.m. Friday, another round of thunderstorms in the forecast. Only bits and pieces as we head through Friday evening. If you have any plans, just know that it does look like most of that starts to wind down there on Friday evening, which is good news for the Master Musicians Festival there in Somerset. That's good news for you guys and great news there for the weekend. Listen, we got NASCAR this weekend. We got the Quaker State 400 there on Saturday in Sparta. Northern Kentucky looks really, really good during that time. I see no problems. Past couple of years, we've had some problems with thunderstorms during that time, but not this time. Actually looks pretty good.
All right, for once, huh?
For once, we need it.
Deal with that brutal humidity again today. Right. Micah, thank you. 5:47 is our time.
So a bicycle, very memorable gift for any child.
But for a 4-year-old boy in Oregon, it's something that gives him a new perspective on life. When he was born, Mason was deemed a vegetable by his doctors and was not able to do anything. But his mother, Tashina Jordan, says Mason has come a long way. He's learning to walk, he knows the alphabet, and he knows numbers 1 through 100. Recently, Jordan applied to a program that gives bikes to disabled children, but was not accepted. But less than 24 hours after a story aired on the local news, viewer donations raised the $4,000 it took to get Mason his own specialized bike. And now, thanks to the generosity of his community, Mason has a new activity to put a big smile on his face.
Aw,
what about that?
Look at Mason go. That is so cool.
It really is.
Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
Going to check traffic again. We'll see how things are moving along. Mike is keeping us updated on weather. All of our top stories are on the way shortly here on WKYT This Morning. Hey, good morning. Welcome back in WKYT This Morning on the air, 5:51 on your Wednesday here in the good old summertime.
Oh, yes, it is. Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
There's really a lot going on. The Lexington Humane Society is asking for help after 4th of July storm swept away one of the organization's biggest fundraisers. The Humane Society says the loss came at a bad time. The storm just blew their money away. They're currently at full capacity with 500 animals there. The organization says you can help out by making a donation, volunteering, or by adopting a lovable pet.
Crews remain on scene of a fire that forced some people from their homes. That fire started around 4 this morning on Maryland Avenue. This is off West 2nd Street near Newtown Pike. The owner of the home where the fire started says he does not think it was an accident. Firefighters are investigating a claim of arson. So far, they say it's too soon to determine exactly what happened.
Today, people will gather to remember a well-known Lexington minister. The Reverend Wayne Smith's funeral is at 1 o'clock this afternoon at Southland Christian Church. The visitation will begin this morning at 10 and last until the funeral. It is also at Southland Christian Church, the location on Harrodsburg Road.
Well, Hillary Clinton is set to take aim at Donald Trump's failed business dealings in Atlantic City today in a major address delivered in the New Jersey town.
Yesterday, the presumptive Republican nominee blasted the FBI over its decision not to pursue criminal charges against Clinton over her use of private email servers while she was Secretary of State. Trump says the decision reflects a, quote, rigged system, adding Clinton has horrible judgment.
A top naval official is under investigation after pulling a gun on a group of young men outside a Washington suburb. The incident last month was recorded on cell phone and apparently shows Kiernig Ohesian threatening the men and accusing them of being drunk. So far, no charges have been filed against him.
A judge in South Africa has sentenced Oscar Pistorius to 6 years in prison for murdering his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp back in 2013. Pistorius had faced a possible 15-year jail term, but the judge said substantial and compelling circumstances in the double amputee Olympic runner's case merited a lesser sentence. A special honor for Smokey Robinson.
And J-Lo teams with the creator of the hit Broadway show Hamilton to honor Orlando shooting victims. Danielle Nottingham has those stories and more in today's Eye on Entertainment.
What we got is love, even when the sinners hate. Jennifer Lopez and Hamilton's Lin-Manuel Miranda are joining forces to produce a song to honor the 49 people killed at an Orlando nightclub last month. Lopez released a sneak preview of Love Makes the World Go Round on YouTube. So far, there's no release date. Money raised will help fund mental health services for survivors of the shooting. Rhythm and blues icon Smokey Robinson will be honored by the Library of Congress for his lifetime achievement in pop music. He's this year's Gershwin Popular Song Prize recipient. The 76-year-old Robinson helped create some of the biggest hits in Motown history as lead singer of The Miracles. A remake of the Spice Girls' smash debut hit Wannabe is in the works. Spice Girls fan and British filmmaker MJ Delaney was 9 when the song topped the charts 20 years ago. She assembled an international cast to promote girl power, education, and gender equality. Former Spice Girl Victoria Beckham says she thinks the remake is a great idea. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, now for today's top health stories. Researchers in England warn that pill organizers meant to help the elderly take their medication, we've all seen those, are actually doing more harm than good.
Yeah, the study found that patients actually became sicker when they started taking the medication every day at the right time. Doctors think those patients may have been missing doses before and did not experience side effects. Well, more Americans are living with congenital heart defects than ever before. A new study estimates 1.4 million adults are surviving with the birth defect, 63% more than in 2000, thanks to recent medical advances.
Cooking at home could help prevent type 2 diabetes. Harvard researchers found people who made their own dinners 5 to 7 days a week had a 15% lower risk of developing the disease compared to those who dine out. Let's get a check right now. Today's traffic trouble spots. So, the look at live drive traffic. The time right now is 5:56.
Yeah, let's hope it looks good out there right now. First of all, we'll look at the region, and the interstates are running fine. Lots of green on that map. Here's the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government's live drive cam at Nicholasville Road and Alumni Drive this morning. And folks are easing along fine there this morning. No reports of any major problems or delays right now. We do know it's humid out there, so that's going to be a factor in your day.
Yeah, tell us all about it, Micah.
Yeah, we know that for sure. We walk outside early this morning. Walkers, runners, you're going to be sweating big time as you walk out and about early this morning. By the afternoon, upper 80s to around 90 degrees. Only a couple of sprinkles there in Harlan County, and then a few storms roll through later on this afternoon. Then we get another batch overnight and into tomorrow morning. Some of those will be strong thunderstorms too, and that doesn't stop here. That goes for Thursday and off towards your Friday. Your weekend forecast looks much better. We're going to go over that 7-day with you here in just a few minutes because we still have another hour of WKYT News. If you're about to take off, have a great day. If not, stick with us. We still have much more to come in just a couple of minutes.